Welcome everyone to my latest Imaginations SA Figuarts review, as I have the new Dragon Ball Super, the Super Saiyan God Son Goku, which was released not too long ago in May 2024, and no doubt for me personally this is a great entry into the Super line if you're looking for your first God form Goku. They did previously release some which were exclusives. This one was relatively low for the retail price, and I think it's a great opportunity for those who didn't get the previous ones to finally have the God form version of Super Saiyan Goku. So looking at the packaging, this is pretty standard for your SA Figuarts in the medium sized box, really well presented once again. And as you can see at the front, it does say Saiyan God instilled with the Light of Righteous Hearts, which is the full name of this figure. And looking at the side, of course, we have the usual kind of photos of Goku, and on the other side it's got the text, and then this is the details at the bottom and top, and of course at the back we have the figure in different poses, and as usual we have the logos and stickers at the front. So let's get the God form of Goku out of the packaging and take a closer look. So there's no slip inside, but we do have some instructions on the side of the box. And here is the Super Saiyan God Son Goku inside its full packaging. So here is the first look at the Super Saiyan God Son Goku, which of course was a very iconic moment in the series when he first transformed into God form. And seeing this figure in person, my first impressions, this is just as magical, kind of like seeing it on screen once again. Because this is, for me personally, the first God form Goku I have in my Figuarts collection. It's just something I've kind of got into recently because my go-to has always been Dragon Ball Z. That brings back a lot more memories for me and more nostalgia. But no doubt Dragon Ball Super is a great series to watch as well. And this is kind of a great entry form into the Super line if you're looking for a God form Goku, because the retail was relatively low, and I think this is great to kind of start the collection. No doubt if you do have the previous ones, it's personal preference if you prefer those ones or you feel that this one is also needed in the collection. Based on what I know, I believe some of the colors is very different to this one, and I really like this. Seeing this in person, I think the colors really pop, from the hairstyle all the way to the actual attire. I really like the oranges. I do have some previous Gokus in my collection, and those ones also of course have the same kind of design, but from what I'm seeing this does look different. I think the colors pop a lot more on this. So yeah, I really like the way this looks in terms of kind of my first impressions, and no doubt this is going to be a great one to add into my collection. So I believe that God form Goku is meant to be slimmer and younger looking, and based on the face sculpt I'm seeing, I think it's pretty accurate to the source. In terms of the actual body proportions, is fine. It kind of just looks like any other Goku figure. I'm sure there are some differences, but I've always preferred if the God form was slightly slimmer, which is something they showed off a prototype a few years ago. But unfortunately, of course, they just never released that version. But seeing this, and based on what I'm seeing with all the joints and the way it looks, I think it's pretty standard for a Goku figure. But at the same time, I feel that it does look kind of different to what I already have in the collection. So let me quickly bring in some of the Dragon Ball Z Gokus I have. Of course, the Saiyan Raised on Earth is one of the more common kind of releases, which a lot of people have in their collection. And the other one is the Super Saiyan Full Power Goku. So we have three different forms of Goku here. And as you can see, they all kind of look different in their own way as well. Obviously, for the Saiyan Raised on Earth, we have kind of a different belt. And even the colors, you can see that the God form kind of pops a lot more. I'm not sure if it's kind of visible on camera, but from what I'm seeing, I do like the colors of this one. And of course, the full power version is slightly different in terms of the look. So yeah, it's great that even though this is kind of similar in terms of the colors, it's great that how this Goku kind of looks different to some of the other ones. Next up, let's take a look at the articulation, so the movement of the God form Goku. So let's start off with the head sculpt. So it has good rotation in terms of side to side and all the way around, and it goes 360 if you want. There's not much limitations in terms of the hairstyle. You can go left and right, and then of course downwards this much, and then upwards this much, and there's good rotation around the neck as well. And then forward arms, which should be pretty standard, and this is the way it's done. You can see side to side, and then forwards, and then rotates backwards, and of course upwards as well, and it goes backwards this much, and then inwards quite a lot, which I like, of course, for those Kamehameha poses. And of course the shoulder pads do kind of move down, which is something they've always done for their Goku figures. There's nothing they can really do. If this was connected to one piece, I think there would be limitations on the arm. And then of course we have the biceps. They do bend backwards, and then there's good rotation on the arms, and then I'm pretty sure there's one on the hand as well, and a slight hinge as well. And then for the body, it is a very small one, so it's separated into two pieces. So the top half has slight rotation, as you can see. Not much there, but it can move side to side, and then downwards slightly, backwards slightly. Not so much, but in terms of the waist, there's good rotation, very smooth. But because it's so small in terms of kind of the look of this, it's not much in terms of kind of the ab crunch. So moving it backwards, you're not going to get too much. And then for the legs, of course, they kick forwards, they go backwards, and it should be able to do the splits this much, and rotates if you want. And obviously we do have knee bend, which is pretty standard. It goes quite far back as well, which is good. And then for the actual boots, there's rotation, and it goes upwards, downwards, and there's also a toe hinge. So let's first take a look at the hand accessories. So right out of the packaging is the standard fisted hands. So for the first set of alternative hands, we have the open palm hands. We also get a set of hands which are pretty standard, which is the fighting stance look. And we also get a set of open palms blaster look. And the fifth and final set is the very much needed Kamehameha hands. And the next set of accessories we can take a look at is of course the younger look of God form Goku with the different faceplates. So right out of the box, of course, we have the standard look. So for the first set of alternative faceplate for Goku, we have this smiling grin look, which of course gives off that more friendly Goku. For the third faceplate, we have the angry look for Goku, which is the gritted teeth showing. And for the fourth and final faceplate, we have the full-on angry mode for Goku with the mouth open. And now for the size comparison, starting off with the SH Figuarts Gokus once again with the Saiyan raised on Earth and the full power versions. Here it is standing next to an SH Figuarts Vegeta and Trunks. And here it is next to an SH Figuarts Piccolo and Krillin. And here it is next to an SH Figuarts Tien and Yamcha. And here it is next to a Marvel Legends Spider-Man and a Mafex Superman. So now for my final thoughts on the SH Figuarts Super Saiyan God Song Goku. No doubt this is a great version to add into the collection, especially if you're starting the Dragon Ball Super line. This was a very iconic and magical moment when he transformed into God form. So this is kind of a must in the collection. For those of you who picked up the previous versions of the Goku, of course, it may not be a must. I can't really tell the difference since I'd never had those. But in terms of this version, I think it pretty much does what is expected. Of course, it has the really nice colors. I think they pop a lot. And it kind of looks very different to any of the previous Gokus I have in my collection, albeit they were from Dragon Ball Z. And it has pretty much the standard articulation. We have all those accessories like the different hands, the different faceplates. So I don't really have much complaints in terms of what is missing, simply because of the price. It was just very low to pass. I got it for under $25 US, which is actually very cheap for an SH Figuarts. So yeah, this is a great version to add into the collection as a different Goku, and just to kind of start off the Dragon Ball Super line. And I hope that Tamashii Nations do more of these kind of releases where you can get some of the main characters once again for a very relatively low price. So my overall score is going to be an 8 out of 10. It's pretty much the God form Goku that I expected, and it pretty much represents it really well from the anime. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to stay tuned for more SH Figuarts reviews, and of course you can check out some of the other content I did on my channel. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you very soon.